Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, General Kane, for being with us here today.
Thank you.
My notes are a little bit all over the place and turning, and so please bear with me for a second. I'd like to go back to the line of questioning that Representative Camp was asking with regard to the Special Prosecutor Gansler. First of all, I'm confused. Is he an employee or is he brought on as a private contractor?
He's outside counsel, so he is not an employee.
And could you walk me through how outside counsel without a law license in Pennsylvania can be brought in?
General Gansler is right now, as in any investigation, in the investigatory stage. 2 members of Buckley Sandler on the team are licensed to practice law in Pennsylvania. So when that time comes, they will either use, we also have a member of OAG who acts as a liaison. We have protocol put in place as to information that flows to and from them. And when that time comes, if it does come, then it will either be prosecuted by the attorneys who are licensed in Pennsylvania. Attorney General Gansler also has the option of applying for a pro hoc vice with the Supreme Court to, as you well know, is to practice law in another jurisdiction on a limited case-specific basis.
Thank you. And as I understand it, your office, you derive your authority, the AG's office, from the Commonwealth Attorneys Act.
That is correct.
And with that, you're able to give a letter of appointment pursuant to the Commonwealth Attorneys Act to engage, or is it to convey the investigative powers?
So the Commonwealth Attorneys Act confers upon the Attorney General 2 separate authorities. One is to hire as he or she sees fit, and the other one is to convey prosecutorial powers. In Pennsylvania, only 2 entities have that authorization. That's the district attorneys and the Attorney General.
I am confused with regard to your ability to convey prosecutorial power when you have a suspended license. The Gansler was brought on in December. My recollection is that your license was suspended prior to that. Could you please explain how that could be done in the absence of an active law license?
Absolutely. The Commonwealth Attorneys Act is very specific. It was enacted in 1978, and it indicates that the Attorney General has the authority to convey that power upon whomever he or she sees fit for a particular reason. I am the Attorney General, and as such, I have the authority under the constitutional amendment.
But you're not eligible to be Attorney General if you were running without a license.
Well, I believe that's up for lawyers to decide at another time and place, which we don't have to do that, but the prosecutorial authority is clearly outlined in the Commonwealth Attorneys Act and the plain meaning of the words.
I understand it's for lawyers to decide, and I just heard testimony to the good that would be done with more money. I know approximately $8 million to fulfill 31, however many positions. You're understaffed by 30% in certain ways. So I'm looking at a cap of $2 million. I'm looking at $850 for one attorney who's not licensed in Pennsylvania, so he's got to be complemented by attorneys who are licensed in Pennsylvania. We didn't ask their dollars, but I could only imagine this team of $850 plus 2 others and a clerk here or there probably coming in at about $3,000 an hour collectively. Have you looked at that in those ways?
Yeah, and I think that's that we have to remember that that cap is just a cap. We put that in almost any contract. With the tobacco outside counsel, it was a cap of $1 million for ORIC. We put that in so that it's a cost containment measure. That cap doesn't mean that's what's going to be spent. That cap doesn't mean that it's going to reach that. That cap was only brought in because it was taken from the independent counsel statute. Did I answer your question?
No, but I'm going to move on. Okay, it's a lot of money when there's need all over, and I don't believe a cap was put in without an expectation of coming near it.
Well, I disagree with you on that, and we'll have to agree to disagree.
Fine.
But the reason for this this investigation is You know, everything costs money. Everything costs money. And the price for the integrity of our criminal justice system, the price to make sure that women aren't treated differently, the price to make sure that African Americans aren't treated differently, or you know, lesbian, gay, transsexual aren't treated differently in our court system, is our foundation of our entire justice system. And I understand that we are under tight budgetary controls, but this isn't just about 15, this isn't just about 2016, this is about the future of Pennsylvania.
General, I heard your comments earlier when you said the issue is that, is there impartiality? Are they being targeted? We want to ensure integrity. We want to restore public confidence. There's mistrust. There's many issues involved. These are just my quick sloppy notes when you spoke earlier. But I didn't hear the word criminal. And it sounds to me that there's an awful lot of money that's been expended, that can and will continue to be expended. And I'm not convinced yet that we're going after criminal activity as opposed to naughty activity. And I don't know how we can regain the trust with this.
And I understand your point. I do get that. The Office of Attorney General is not just about criminal activity. We have a civil division, we have a public protection division, we protect seniors from scams. Some of them aren't criminal, some of them are HIPAA violations. But when the chief law enforcement officer comes across a problem that may run its roots into the entire criminal justice system, you almost have to sit back and ask yourself, well, what's the point of going out and making these arrests? And we also don't just make the arrests, we prosecute them. You know, the deputy attorney generals have to go into court, and they have to guarantee, as officers of the court, that the criminal justice system is operating at its very best. When we come across what may be a potential problem, running up to the highest level of the court in Pennsylvania, we can't turn a blind eye to it. There are 13 million people in Pennsylvania, and if a woman walks into a courtroom, she needs to know that she's going to get the same treatment. And if an African American walks in, we talk about sentencing reforms and, you know, mandatory minimums, that they have been disparate treatment against African Americans, and we've dealt with that situation. It was a tough situation to face because we have to see the problem, we have to admit there's a problem, and then we have to fix it, which is what we did in all of those instances and continue to do with the Justice Reinvestment Initiative. And we're doing that exact same thing here. It's the bedrock of our foundation.
General, one of my concerns is really that when and if we come to an end on this, there's going to be questions regarding the whole investigation, because at the underpinning is what we've already agreed to disagree, but a question as to whether or not there was the authority, with your license suspended, to convey the letter of appointment to Gansler. So,
and again, I'll submit that there is no question as to my authority. The Commonwealth Attorneys Act is very clear. The Attorney General has the authority. I am the Attorney General.
thank you.
Thank you.